to study, to consider, to analyze the situation regarding the tourism sector and the high number of tourists which we received in the very first half of 2023 ahead of our high season which starts in the winter. Well, to shed more light on this, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Mr. Yehia Abdul Qader, our tourism counselor and expert. Thank you very much for being with us, sir, and a very good morning.
Oh, thank you, and good morning to you.
Sir, when I was reading about the statements which were released recently by His Excellency Minister of Tourism, Mr. Yehia, regarding the number of tourists who visited Egypt in the first 6 months of 2023, I was thinking of our high season. Still our high season in the winter, but we can consider now that the whole year long is a high season when it comes to tourism.
Well, that's definitely true because, traditionally travel to Egypt was as a winter resort internationally. But now, due to the pent-up demand, because people were not traveling for over 2 years due to the corona pandemic, now this demand, making travelers, they like to travel year-round. That's why we have a heavy season this summer of international travel to Egypt as well.
Yeah. Sir, during COVID-19, many countries imposed a very strict lockdown in a way that they lost a lot when it comes to tourism. And we implemented our own policy, of course, to maintain and to preserve the safety of our tourists, but in the same time to continue receiving them. Do you think that this also was one of the decisions or of the policies which increased the number of tourists who were introduced to Egypt and now they are eager to return back?
Yes, this is true because Egypt was one of the earliest countries and resorts on the Red Sea and Mediterranean to accommodate and welcome visitors. And we've been following the regulations of the WHO, World Health Organization in Geneva, and the World Tourism Organization as well in Madrid. And the prime director of WTO, she came to Egypt twice. Mm-hmm. And to recognize, the advantage that the Egypt applied. And it was a model, for world tourism. That's why many countries came to follow up on our policy and apply it in their destination. So really, we did so well by, following the regulation of sanitation and hygiene and medical care. And these results for workers and for visitors as well.
Yes. Sir, also the choice of several Egyptian cities to be awarded with different international prizes like Luxor, Sharm el-Sheikh, even Cairo. How do you see this as messages sent to the whole world about how Egypt is filled with wonderful places and that Egypt is a really wonderful tourism destination which should occupy even a higher position when it comes to the world tourism map?
Well, this has been, declared in the statement of His Excellency Dr. Ahmed Isa, Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, when he explained that international tourists arrival to Egypt within the early 6 months of the year. They increased by 44% versus last year, which is nearly over 2 million visitors, in half a year. So this is due to the excellent international airline network that links Egypt with the Red Sea resorts like Qader. We have 80 flights per week, as well as Sphinx Airport, which is located in Giza now. We receive 50 flights per week, from generic destinations and markets in Europe, Central Europe, in Italy, Slovakia, Germany, Switzerland. So that's why we have, a good season this year due to the facilities and services followed up by the Ministry of Tourism.
Yes, and also when it comes to the new excavations which are taking place not a month after the other, a day even after the other, and how The media is covering them. The invitation of many of foreign dignitaries here to attend themselves the excavations or the press conferences, to be accurate, after these excavations. This is only another way which was implemented on the ground to attract more tourists from all over the world. How do you see also this as another untraditional way of inviting our guests to come and to see themselves what's going on the ground regarding the new excavations?
Well, of course, it's a great attraction historically for Egypt, like maybe as earlier than, like our Carter in 1922. So we have, like as you already mentioned, like on a weekly and monthly basis, we have new discoveries, excavations, and archaeological finds. But remember as well, we have exhibitions of golden Ramesses in Paris and like in the US and Japan. So we have Egyptian antiquities that has been, like visitors are lining up to watch, and then they like to come to Egypt to practice and enjoy the real thing. Again, one service we need to accommodate this number of growing travelers to Egypt, we need to increase our hotel capacity. And by the end of this year, we'll have more 3,000 rooms, hotel rooms. By the end of 2023, they're going to be located in Maadi, Cairo, International Orbit Hotel, as well as in Marsa Matruh and Hurghada as well.
Let me put my question in other words, sir, because now it's not the traditional Egypt. I mean, any tourist who is going to just search to Google Egypt, it's not only about the pyramids with, of course, our respect to this miracle, or the Sphinx, or the Abu Simbel giant temple, but he or she is going to find that we discovered the mummification workshops for the first time. That Saqqara necropolis now is filled with new excavations. So how do you see adding new findings, new discoveries, and to change even our cultural tourism map?
Well, cultural tourism accounts for 20 to 22% of world travel. So really, like this is how we should see the map, like underlined and studied and promoted. But still, like we have to cater for other markets, like leisure, recreation, business, incentives, conferences, events, sports, medical, religious, ethnic, holy family. So this is another 80%, which accounts for like about 12 million visitors.
Yeah.
So we could like play, like both advantages we have. That's why, for example, Egypt Air is offering its passengers, like a free visa for 96 hours, and this is going to increase the volume of visitors to Egypt in short visas. Hurghada Airport, for example, last month received over 750,000 visitors on arrival. So really, it's an excellent mix between archaeology, heritage, history, and our current, like achievements that we're doing around the world.
As you mentioned, sir, the diversity of our tourism sectors, it's really amazing. And just to add to what you have just said, last week and the week before, we hosted the Finn Swimming World Cup with the participation of hundreds of Finn swimmers coming from all over the world, about 500 players, and of course each of these players is going to return back with wonderful memories. As we speak in Alexandria, the Youth World Cup for modern pentathlon is also taking place. So this diversity is of course for our best interest. But let me go to the celebrities, to Tom Hanks, to Pep Guardiola, and to have this untraditional way of propagating for Egypt, of marketing, of saying that those very well-known figures have chosen Egypt to be their favorite destination for spending a wonderful holiday. How do you see this, sir?
Really, we've been, favored, like by our history, our location, like our kind people and hospitality. That's why we like on weekly basis, we have international world figures, like we have Mrs. Biden like a month ago, and then Tom Hanks was having dinner in Zamalek, and then Mr. Guardiola and his family, they spent cruising the Nile like over like 7, 8 days, and that was a great promotion. So really world figures, like when they come to Egypt, they draw world media and attention. And Muhammad Salah spent his vacations on the Mediterranean and Red Sea as well. So celebrities and sport figures, like it's a great promotion, especially in this social media, like and internet and digital marketing that people like to figure around our world and celebrities, like and
social media. Social media was my coming question, because the campaigns, the propagating campaigns, of course they did great, and we're still continuing to have innovations to think out of the box to attract more visitors and more guests to Egypt. But how do you see the role of social media? What we should do? I mean, when it comes to 30 million tourists coming to Egypt as expected by the end of the year, many were saying that this was a dream and this was something which was very difficult to achieve. Others are saying this is only a start and we are going, inshallah, to receive more and more. But if we are keen enough and if we are smart enough to use social media in specific to attract more tourists to Egypt. How do you see this, or what's your evaluation regarding the use of social media?
Well, social media really actually and genuinely is an excellent, effective, like an instrument and vehicle to promote services, goods, like fashion, sports, events, politics, finance, worldwide. But, like the core of tourism planning and strategic, like implementation is the quality of the product. So we can do everything, like archaeology, promotion, social media, marketing campaigns, like strategic planning. But the core, like of the hotel and hospitality and travel leisure industry is based on the quality. For example, we've been, like using, like the Sphinx Airport now very efficiently and effectively. And a traveler I met coming from Turkey said that it cost him like around 40 euros, like for a round trip from Slovakia to Sphinx Airport and round trip back. And this is one of the bones, like of international charter air flights that's filling our airport. But transportation from the airport to downtown Cairo was maybe, like not accessible. So we have to work our plan to make, like visitors satisfied with our services and, like with no missing hold. And inshallah, we're going to have an excellent season. We're going to exceed 50 million by the end of December, inshallah.
Inshallah. In addition, of course, to developing the infrastructure, the highways, now to move from a city to the other, I think it's a nice journey, not as before. If you permit me also, sir, I want to speak about the mega projects, like the great configuration, for example, like the Grand Egyptian Museum. National mega projects in the field of tourism, it's really, I think, also attracting the private sector and attracting many or thousands of or millions of tourists, because these projects in specific, they cannot be found in any other place. I mean, the great configuration, it's only happened in Egypt. The Grand Egyptian Museum is going to be the biggest worldwide with many sectors. I mean, it's not going to be a one-day visit or something. How do you see such mega projects?
Well, really, like this is exceptional because, like, thank God, we've been endowed, like because of having, like Mount Sinai, and Catherine, all these holistic places. We have, like the itinerary and the journey of the Holy Family to Egypt. Every June we celebrate it to 25 locations nationwide. And as well as we'll be opening soon, inshallah, by end of this year, the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is like the icon of the, of the century. It's a great achievement, not only for Egypt, but for mankind.
This is it. I always call it our gift to humanity.
Yes.
Yes. Sir, finally, the biggest or largest entertainment event in the Middle East in Al Alamein. This is going to be to continue or to last for weeks, and it's going to be filled with concerts, with sports events, with cultural events. How do you see such events, which is going, as I said, to last for weeks, and in a city like El Alamein, which also, as I said in my intro, now is a source of pride to all Egyptians?
Really, this is like a great boon, like can boost for Egyptian tourism, for leisure, for recreation, for activities, relaxation, because we have excellent airport facilities in Alamein, in Marsa Matruh. And now we have like a great charter line of flights coming from Europe and worldwide to enjoy, like this exotic locations with its beach, sand, facilities, luxury hotels and resorts, entertainment. I have my friends currently are over there, and they tell me about the upcoming, concerts and gala dinner they're going to have. So really it became like a hotspot for summer leisure, entertainment, and festivals as well.
Mr. Yehia Abdul Qader, our tourism counselor and expert, thank you very much for your input, sir, and have a very good day. Right after the short break, we are going to return back with more, so stay tuned.